Hi, welcome to another video from KittyKathee. So before we get into the topic of this video, I do want to remind you guys that I do have a Twitch, which is TV/KittyKathee, and upon the day of release, I'll be streaming Wuthering Way. For every 1 hour of streaming, I'll be doing a giveaway of a Luddite subscription. On top of it, I will be doing more giveaways for battle passes and such. So make sure to check out my Twitch. Also join the Discord, which is discord.gg/KittyKathee. All right, back to the topic of the video. Today, I want to talk about what I would recommend you to spend your stamina on. The stamina is called wave plate in the game. There's a few situations where you're going to get some items that you can use to instantly replenish your stamina. But that's beside the point. What I want to tell you is, what should you spend your stamina on? I will also say, for now, I'm kind of leaving the tacit field aside because it is, during the CBT, the tacit field were not giving enough resources. It was just simply not worth it. That said, they did announce that they will improve the tacit field's rewards upon release. So we need to keep an eye on it. So let's go from most useful to less useful. So the most useful place where you want to spend your stamina are going to be the weekly boss. I think upon release, it's going to be 2 weekly bosses, I believe. I think so. And essentially, they cost 60 stamina, which is a chunk, but the stamina cap is higher than other games like Genshin Impact, for example. And they reward you with high-level Forte skill materials. So essentially, once you rank up your Forte skills, at certain level, when you get kind of high into the maximum levels, it's going to ask you to have weekly plus resources, which is kind of the standard for gacha games. The second most sought after place to use your stamina is going to be the Forgery Challenge. The Forgery Challenge is going to reward you with materials to rank up your weapons and your Forte skills. This is very important. I think this is what you should be focusing on after you're done with your weekly bosses. And this will allow you to work on your main DPS, essentially, right? When you start the game, you want to make sure to funnel as much resources as possible into your main DPS so they can actually carry through the early game. And so I would say at least get your main DPS maxed out, quote-unquote maxed out. But I would say I would recommend to kind of work on your best character. I would say maybe 3, so you have a full team ready to be played, obviously. And this is kind of the priority, right? Once you're done with your main team, I think you can move on to the world bosses. They cost 60 stamina, just like the weekly boss, which, by the way, the Forgery Challenge costs you 40 stamina only. And so the world bosses gets you some rank up materials for resonators. So once you hit the max level cap that you have, you can cap it by doing an ascension, essentially. So I would say, once again, at least your main DPS, I think it's recommended to do at least your full team. And there it is. Now, what I would call the fourth most interesting thing to spend your stamina on is going to be the training simulation. The training simulation, essentially, you can pick which resource you want to farm for, and you have the choice between Echo XP, Resonator XP, Weapon XP, and Shell credits. The priority is going to be in that order. You want to get material for your artifacts, material for your characters, then your weapon, and the Shell credit is just the money of the game. I would recommend to never go for that. It's just not worth it. Training simulation costs 40 stamina. And this is also where, at the moment, I would place the tacit field. If you don't need to do anything else and you still have stamina and you don't want to do training simulation, you can do the tacit fields, which cost 60. That said, because tacit fields are going to get reworked or improved, maybe it's going to be more worth it. I'll let you know if that does happen. All of that said, I would say that currently the training simulation is probably not worth it. Personally, once I've built my team, once I've gotten the rank up materials for the weapons and 40 skills and the rank up material for my resonators, when that happens, I think I will go back to Forgery Challenge and I will start working on my next 6 characters. Because essentially the quote-unquote endgame mode requires you to have 3 teams. What's interesting is that you can use the same weapon on different characters, but that said, you cannot obviously use the same skills for all characters. So I would go back and I would build more characters to make sure I can tackle that endgame mode. So there it is. That's my suggestions. I hope it's helpful to you guys. And yeah, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're going to focus on. And I'll see you on the next video. Drop a like, subscribe if you could, and